Hello folks, this is Sula speaking. You're listening to another video for Teamfight Tactics. This is taken from a solo game. This is actually a normal game. I haven't been playing that many normal games lately. Been doing more ranked games. However, this was, I'd gone a couple days without playing Teamfight Tactics because of the winter holidays, and I just wanted to do a normal game to get back kind of into the flow of things before doing things that count, at least in terms of your score or what have you. So in any case, this is a normal game, and this game is going to be a Jax game. I did a previous video on Jax, so this is going to be Jax Part 2, or Part Deux, if we want to be a little fancier, use the French word for Part 2. The previous game I did, I was contested on playing Jax, and I actually never hit the 3-star Jax in that game, so I didn't quite get the full Jax experience. This time, I'm going to look more at like what a standard Jax game is going to look like, and particularly talk a bit more about the EDM trait, which is going to be the other kind of featured thing in this game. Of course, now we're going to have to get there. I do not start out the game playing that way, so I guess if you're really not interested in the early game, you can, fast forward a little bit. But the way that the early game plays out, of course, all affects how you get to where you are later on. So I think it's still worthwhile to put up the footage and watch that sort of thing. In any case, though, so we got item payout for our initial portal. That means when you make items, you get gold. I also have a Senna and an Aphelios here. So my first thought was, oh, maybe I'll do something with rapid fire. Maybe I'll just like play rapid fire back lines and, we'll ideally find a 2-cost, or not a 2-cost, ideally find a frontliner who can be our headliner. Something tanky. Obviously, the best possible outcome here would probably be a Cassante headliner with Heartsteel trait, because then I'd have Heartsteel trait in immediately, and I'd also have a really tanky frontliner to play through. Punk Vi, not it. Definitely not Punk Vi. I don't want to go in that direction. This is something that certainly is playable. I have Superfan Kennen. I certainly could use that as an option, but I was like, not really feeling super fan here. I don't think that this is... I mean, it certainly wouldn't be bad. I could just play the Lilia plus the Kennen, and all of a sudden I have super fan in. But, this was a normal game. I think if this was a ranked game, I would have just bought the Kennen here, played Kennen plus Lilia, and then just gone from there with super fan trade in. But I was like, let's do something a little bit more interesting. I've played that opening many, many, many times. It certainly works perfectly fine, but I think I can do something that's more interesting. Now, here's something that's not great. The starting items are not things that I want, unfortunately. I don't want any of these starting items. We'll get back to that in a second because we have a silver augment. Now, we have a couple options here. The cybernetic bolt's not terrible, but I'm going to take the stationary support. I think that would be pretty nice. And just because I will get a training dummy with a stationary support item in, 7 rounds? I always like taking this one when I have a silver augment to start. And then I get a Jax on this store here, so I was like, oh, cool. Maybe we just play Jax here, and we'll go from there. Try something like that. We'll put in Mosher trait. And I was like, you know what? It's a normal game. Let's try forcing Jax for a change. Let's try to do that. I'll try to hit the Jax headliner, and this will be also just a little bit more practice for me. I haven't played Jax. I haven't played EDM comps a whole lot. Just a little bit more experience in trying out one of these boards, seeing how it goes. I'm hoping that no one's going to contest Jax. I'm reasonably sure that no one is, based on what I'm seeing people playing overall. A lot of people, and I mean a lot of people, are trying to play either the Ahri Sentinels board. I can already tell because they're going heavy into KDA and Sentinels, or they're trying to play Heartsteel. Lots and lots and lots of people trying to play that here at the start of the game. So I think that I'm likely to be uncontested on the Jax in this one. By the way, this round's not going so hard. Apparently we don't have enough damage to get through the Echo because he keeps activating his Bling bonus and healing off of his ultimate. I guess we just didn't have enough damage to cut through him. So not a great starting round. By the way, I have Spellweaver Annie, so I could have looked to reroll Annie as well, but as I said, not going that route. Okay, to get back to my item point of view before, we have a portal where every time you make an item, you gain 2 gold. So you really, really want to make an item at the start of the game because that 2 gold will help accelerate your economy. Yeah, I can already see all these people going into Sentinels plus Ahri, which is like the most boring build imaginable at this point. But people do it because it works. But I can't really make anything with my starting items. I have a tier, I have a cloak, and I have a belt. None of these make items that I really want to make. I could make Redemption, but I don't like Redemption as a starting item at the beginning of the game. I guess it's not terrible because early in the game, damage is low. You can get some value from the regen, but I just don't like making this. I'd much rather make a Sunfire Cape. I'd much rather make a Warmogs. These are items that are just better tank items, so I don't really want to do that. Could also make a belt plus cloak. That's an Evan Shroud. Would have been Shroud of Stone. Would have been a Zephyr back in the day, but no, not anymore. It's an Evan Shroud. That's, again, like a good off-tank item. And it's good if you're running an AD comp. But the thing is, I'm planning on playing the Jax. Jax is magic damage. Jax really doesn't need armor shred. And so I don't really want to make that combination either. By the way, here's a Cassante headliner. Again, just a great headliner would be awesome. But nope, we're going to try to force Jax this game. Like I said, I would probably play this differently if it was a ranked game. But nope, we're going to force Jax and see how it goes. So we're going to continue passing, and we're going to keep going until we get the Jax headliner. Hopefully, I will be able to hit the Jax headliner. So anyway, Evan Shroud, not something that I want. Redemption. Redemption, more buildable, but also not something that I'm really looking to do. And then I have, what is the other item I can make? Adaptive Helm, tier plus Cloak. Again, just not really what you want to do. There's just kind of better items. It's kind of like if you have something left over. But like none of these are items that Jax could make. I kind of have pieces of items that would be good on Jax. Hand of Justice is good on him. I have half of that. Bloodthirster is good on him. I have half of that. Yeah, you could make Quicksilver Sash, but that's not a great Jax item. It's like serviceable, but not great. By the way, you can see this fight's kind of sad too. Look, I'm getting everything low on the enemy team, but not actually killing anything. Can we kill the Tahm Kench? No. So I take a bad loss there. Got multiple units down super low, but could not actually kill anything. So not great there. I do have first pick on the carousel, so that's something. And I see there's a Jax on the carousel. I was like, all right, well, I'm going to take the Jax. Trying to force Jax. There's a Jax with the sword. That'll even allow me to make a Bloodthirster, which is one of Jax's best items. Even though he deals magic damage, Bloodthirster's good on him because it gives him the health shield. So it's quite useful on him just so he doesn't get bursted down in fights. You just want Jax to get more survivability, basically. So Bloodthirster, not bad. He also does want some additional healing. Now, the Mosher trait gives him Omnivamp, so he gets some healing innately from the Mosher trait, but is not bad to get more of that from a Bloodthirster. By the way, there's a country Tahm Kench, so that would not be terrible either. I had a lot of different directions I could have gone in this game, but I was like, nope, we're just going to continue here. And even though I'm at 20 gold, I believe that I level here because it increases my odds of finding Jax. Yeah, there we go. And the big thing is the headliner increase in terms of the headliner odds. I have much better odds to find. Yeah, now I have 70% odds for 2-cost headliners. So I'm really looking for 2-cost headliners. I'm deliberately leaving the headliner slot open. So every single round, I'm going to have the chance to find a Jax headliner. My hope is that I will find one of them. And if I have to re-roll for it, then I have to re-roll for it. But now I have much better odds to find the Jax headliner. I'm also getting better odds of just finding Jax himself. Jax is a 2-cost unit. Where you generally want to be to find 2-cost units is level 6 is the sweet spot. At level 6, you have 40% odds to get them in the store. But you can also get them decently at level 5. You can see I have 33% odds, and they're also decent odds at level 7. Level 7, you have 35% odds. And by the way, there's 2-star Jax. Okay, so we've already completed the first part of the puzzle. We've got a 2-star Jax. Now if I can hit the headliner, that'll give me 3 more, and I'll only have to find 3 more Jaxes. So I'm already making great progress. To have 3 Jaxes this early in the game is nice. The rest of my board is complete garbage. Rest of my board is really terrible. What are you looking to play around Jax? Well, you want more EDM units, but they come later in the game. The EDM units are Jax at the 2-cost tier, Lux at the 3-cost tier, and then Zac and Zed at the 4-cost tier. So you just don't really see EDM units in the early game. So that's not unexpected. I haven't seen them. In addition to that, you generally want to play Bruiser frontline. That's why I'm working through Tahm Kench and the Olaf, because you're going to want a Zac later on in the game. He's a Bruiser, so you might as well start grabbing Bruisers early on. Generally, you want to play Zac plus Set as your frontline in this team composition. So that's the general setup you want there. One more ult from Jax. Can he get it off? Oh, he died before he got his ult off. He would have healed off that and probably won the round. He was so close to finishing that. So I lose 3 out of the 4 rounds. As I said, my board is pretty terrible. I wasn't able to do much in terms of item slams there. I guess there's another Olaf. By the way, Dazzler Bard, kind of funny too. But nope, it's gonna have to be Jax this game. We're going to be super picky and force a headliner here, which is something I don't do. So anyway, we do have Bruiser frontline, but it's pretty terrible. And then you also want to play some Moshers. Generally speaking, 4 Moshers is probably enough. You usually don't have to go up to 6 Moshers because you have to play bad units. But like we've only seen 1 Vi the whole game. We've only seen 1 Gnar the whole game. I really wish I could find now like an Urgot to get up to 4 Mosher, because that does make a difference. You get additional attack speed and additional Omnivamp. But generally you don't have to go past 4. If you get a Mosher Jax, then it can be worthwhile to go up to 6. If you have an EDM Jax, which is the better Jax, then you don't really have to go that high. Also, we'll go ahead and sell the Echo, and then I'm going to go ahead and make a Jeweled Gauntlet. This is fantastic. And then now if I sell the Olaf, I can get to 40 gold. So nice. Jeweled Gauntlet is one of the most important items on Jax. He really needs this item because he just doesn't do enough damage to kill things unless he has that. It lets his damage crit, greatly elevates the amount of damage that he's doing. So you really, really want the Jeweled Gauntlet. It's Jeweled Gauntlet plus a healing item, which can be Bloodthirster or Hand of Justice. Hand of Justice, and they're both pretty good. Hand of Justice has more synergy in terms of critting if you get Jeweled Gauntlet, but you get the shield if you have Bloodthirster, so they're both good. And then Titan's Resolve is probably his best last item. I'm not especially close to landing that, so at this point I'm thinking I'll probably make Hand of Justice for the last item, but Titan's Resolve is always good on melee carries, and it just, gives him a whole bunch of additional stats, makes him tankier. Just a good item overall for the Jax. I did go ahead and level to 6 there, which was a little bit expensive to do. But again, I want better odds of finding Jax. So that's why I went ahead and leveled to 6 here. Again, I'm trying to find Jaxes, and I want the best odds possible. I was also able to play one more unit. I put in a... what was the name of that unit? I put in a Kale for Pentakill, which does almost nothing for me because I'm not really playing through the Pentakill units, but it was better than nothing. I could have bought the Caitlyn and just put her on my board to just play a random Kate with no traits. That might have been better, but yeah, in any case, now I'm trying to think about what I should do. I'm looking at those like, oh, Gargantuan Resolve, the Super Titans. Your Titan Resolve can stack up to 40 times instead of 25 and gives you a Titan Resolve. I was like, yes, this is perfect. I was thinking about, should I take Harm Assist, but like I already have a lot of healing on Jax. I'm not sure that that's going to do that much. And then, perfect, Titan's Resolve, excellent. Anyway, there, I'll make that replacement. Gragas is a better bruiser than the Olaf, so I'll just go ahead and make that replacement. Now I don't really need Kale because I just dropped Pentakill trait. Not that it was doing a whole lot for me, so I could probably just like... I guess I could probably play the Akali, but I also don't want to drop below 40 gold here, so whatever. I am on a 4-match losing streak. I want to be clear here. This game is not going especially great so far, and that's because I'm just not finding all the other pieces. Like, I still do not have anything more than 1-star bruisers. I guess I technically have a 2-star Tom, but he's not really doing that much. And I don't have any other EDM units in to help Jax get his ult off more frequently. I still only have 2 Mosher in. I'm not up to the 3 Mosher yet. So not finding a whole lot. And I have 1-star Vi, 1-star Gnar for my other Moshers. So it's like, ooh, this is not going great here. I'm certainly losing an awful lot of health. I mean, I guess I get high carousel priority, so that's something. But certainly not going great so far. At least I'm back up to 50 gold. I'm getting a lot of econ from losing all these rounds. Being on the big loss streak is giving me a lot of econ, but I've dropped down to, 59 HP? So at this point, I'm like, forcing Jax, not going great. Not going great in this lobby, and I've seen an awful lot of headliners at the 2-cost tier, and I have not seen the Jax headliner yet. I'm still waiting for it. It's going to pop up sooner or later. It kind of has to. So a little bit more information about how the headliners pop up. This is a good point to bring it out. Yeah, 75% odds to get 2-cost headliners right now. Everybody knows the basic rules for the headliners, which is that you get a headliner in your shop every single time if you do not have a headliner. And if you do, it's every 4 rounds, every 4 shops. I think pretty much everybody is familiar with that by now in the set. There are some other hidden rules, though, for how the whole thing works. I'm relying for this on a video that Leduc posted, so want to give credit to where this is due. It looks like Jax is finally... Oh, look like Jax is finally going to win a round. Do I actually end up winning this one or not? Or does the Aphelios actually have this? I think Aphelios actually has this, which is probably good for me. Oh, he gets his ult off and he wins with 11 HP. What? Anyway, it's probably a good loss, though. I get more econ. And then on this round, I'm looking for more Jax stuff. I don't see that. I'm going to take the Ezreal with the belt. That lets me make more Mogs. And it just denies an Ezreal to the rest of the board. I know a lot of people want to play Ezreal because they have Heartsteel boards. Okay, as I said, so there's some additional rules that people have figured out through data mining, basically, and running a lot of tests. Unwritten rules for how the headliners work. So one of the rules is if you see a headliner that has one of their traits doubled, so, like Jax has Mosher EDM traits. If I see a Mosher Jax headliner in the shop, the next Jax headliner that pops up will have the other trait doubled, which is kind of interesting, right? If you find another Jax in the shop, they will always have the other trait doubled. By the way, here I find an early Zed. That's great. Now I can get the EDM selector in. Zed's a hard unit to find. There's a Jax. So, there's a Sentinel Garen in the store. If I see another Garen in the store, it's guaranteed to be his other trait. And then there we go. We get early Zac as well. So Zac and Zed on the board already is fantastic. So that's one thing that is really interesting. The way that the traits work is you will always see a different trait doubled. Most units have 2 traits, so the units that have 3, like there's a Disco Gragas in the store right now. The next Gragas headliner I see will not have Disco as the doubled trait. It'll be either Spellweaver or Bruiser. So that's kind of interesting. Then another thing is how long before you can see the next unit in the shop again, because it's not purely random. There's some RNG protection in there. Like we have Gragas in the shop right now. We will not see a Gragas in like the next shop. That is not possible. There's some RNG protection in there. And the rule is the units, after you see a unit in the shop, you'll see another one in 7. You can't see the same unit again for 7 refreshes. So I can't see Gragas again for 7 more shops. And that actually makes it easier to hit some of the units. So I'm going through 2 costs. I've seen most of the 2 cost units, and oh, there it is. There's the Jax. I was almost guaranteed to hit it because of that. And there we go. There is the 3-star Jax. So I go from 5 Jaxes to 9 very quickly. But again, due to the way that the shop mechanics work, I was almost guaranteed of seeing 3-star Jax, or a Jax headliner pretty soon, because I'd cycled through all of those 2-cost headliners. And all of the 2-cost units, again, when you see them as a headliner, they can't show up in a shop again for 7 more rounds. It's the same thing for the headliner trait as well. If you see a trait doubled, that trait also can't go in, also can't show up as a headliner trait for, I believe, 5 rounds afterwards. So because we were seeing a lot of headliners at the 2-cost tier, and a lot of headliners having their traits pop up there, EDM is a pretty rare trait to find. So EDM was possible as a choice that could get chosen over and over and over again. So again, I was almost guaranteed to find Jax there just due to the mechanics of how the headliners work. Again, none of this is explained in-game. None of this is ever told to the player. It's just something that you have to figure out from probably watching someone who made a video on the topic, honestly. Now I'm really hoping that I can get Set to pop up so I can replace Gragas with Set, and then that would get me up to 4 Mosher. Also, I can also just level here and get 4 Mosher in as well. I should have mentioned before, the stationary support that I had at the very beginning of the game has given me a training dummy with a Zerat minion on it. Zerat minion is nice because it's going to serve as a taunt for anyone that hits the training dummy at the start of the round. And that means if they're hitting the training dummy, they're not going to hit Jax. Jax has a bad habit of getting focused in fights. You really don't want Jax getting hit. By the way, I get a whole bunch of tank items here, which is not terrible. I also, you know what I should have done here? I actually make a mistake. So I go ahead and make, I'm going to hit the 2-star Gragas. I go ahead and make a Sunfire Cape because I have all of those. I have the belt and the vest on my belt. But remember, I get the Super Titans in this game. What I should have done is made a Titans Resolve on Zed because I have the Super Titans Resolve. I should have just gone ahead and done that instead of, but I wanted to do something with these belts. I already have a Warmog, so I don't want to make double Warmogs. So I'll make the Sunfire Cape, which is, again, not bad, and then I'll make the Redemption. So I don't think those were bad choices, but like I could have made the Super Titans, and I think that might have actually been better to do there because Zed could definitely use items as well. All right, so now that we have 3-star Jax, we also have Jax with 4 EDM because we have the EDM version of the Jax headliner. Jax will be either Mosher headliner or EDM headliner, and this is going to give him the EDM version, which, as I said, is considered to be the better of the 2 versions. 6 Mosher trait is not bad, but it's not all that amazing, whereas there's only 4 EDM units, so the only way to get EDM trait 5 in is to have an EDM headliner. There's also no EDM emblems. It's not possible to get one as an emblem. One of the very few items like that. Okay, so now we have our next augment. I was strongly thinking about healing orbs. It's pretty good on Jax because he can heal off the orbs, but Crash Test Dummies is an option. I'm 100% going to pick that up. I already have a training dummy. This gets me up to 3 training dummies. They will all fly into the back lines and stun things. I'm also going to pick up the Lux because Lux will allow me to play 5 EDM and max out that trait. And I also find a Poppy, so we'll play Poppy over the Vi. I generally don't play Mosher board, so I'm not as practiced at looking for these units. And then Yone is sitting on the bench because Yone will give me Crowd Diver trait for the Zed. But I would prefer to just find a Set and replace Gragas, and then that would allow me to put the Lux on the board because I would really like to get up to 5 EDM. All right, well, we've got to, and yeah, you can see my next unit in is going to be Lux, so I'm not even going to bother holding the Crowd Diver right now. I can find a better Crowd Diver later on. All right, so EDM trait, as I said, how does this trait work? I talked about it when I did another video on Jax, but can go ahead and review it again. It's a very unique trait. Basically, you use the little EDM selector item to choose an EDM champion. And I have, of course, chosen Jax because he's the strongest of my EDM units. That's the little glowing triangle in the bottom left-hand corner is the selector. You pick one of your EDM units, and the other EDM units sample that unit. And what they mean by sample is they basically use their ultimate periodically. Every few seconds, they'll use their ability. Here's the official description. At the selected champion's frequency, your EDM champions cast the selected ability with modified effectiveness. So Jax's, and they have different cast times for each ones. Jax is one of the lower ones. Jax's is every 6 seconds, the other units will sample his ultimate. So they'll basically use his ultimate every 6 seconds. Higher tiers of EDM increase the effectiveness of that. At EDM 2, it's only 80% effective. So, you know, like let's say if I just had the Zac in there, he would also use Jax's ability every 6 seconds, but only at 80% effectiveness. At EDM 3, it goes up to 100% effectiveness. EDM 4, 110% effectiveness, and -1 second on the cast time. At EDM 5, 125% effectiveness, -2 seconds on the cast time. So this is why it's really like a scaling, snowballing effect when you have high levels of EDM. Because not only do you have more units on the board that are sampling, the cast time to sample also goes down as well. And it's like a snowball effect. So it's really, really effective if you can get up to EDM 5. Remember, Jax's base default time to sample is 6 seconds. EDM 5, that goes down by 2 seconds, so that's only 4 seconds. Every 4 seconds, someone is sampling. All the EDM units will sample his ability every 4 seconds. That's pretty wild. All right, here on the carousel, once again, I'm going to take an Ez just to deny it to the rest of the team. It also does give me a glove, so I can look to make a Last Whisper, which is a decent Zed item. Zed deals physical damage. Jax, of course, deals magic damage, but Zed deals physical damage. Once again, getting Zed and Zac confused a billion times over. There's a Sona in the store, but I can't really use that. And finally, I find a set. So now we're going to level and put in the Lux. And now I finally have the core of my team composition in. Again, we're going to make sure that Jax is the one being sampled. By the way, Crowd Diver Zed, also pretty amazing. But I've got the Jax. I'm continuing to play through the Jax. Now I need to roll down because my entire board is 1 star aside from everything other than the Jax is 1 star. I really have not been hitting these units throughout the game. So I really need to 2-star my board before I can think about going to level 9. And if I have to spend some gold for that, then so be it. At least I'm on a nice win streak here to give me some additional econ. Oh, I guess I didn't make the Last Whisper for Zed. Oh, you know what it is? I was still trying to see if I could pull another vest and make a Titan's Resolve for him. I think I belatedly realized that I needed to make the Titans. But anyway, so again, every 4 seconds, all of the EDM units will sample Jax's ult, and they'll all use Jax's abilities. So like Lux diving in here, Zac diving in here. Can we finish off this Ahri? Yes, we can. So even though Jax is dead, the other EDM units are still sampling his ultimate and still doing damage. So like a little old 1-star Lux jumping in there using Jax's ultimate. If you're curious about how they, like what the effectiveness is on this, they will use the base damage of the unit that you're sampling. So, like, they will do whatever the base damage is for Jax at 3-star. What is that? I'll just look up the base damage for his ability. Where is Jax on here? Base damage is... Oh, boy. It says the slam damage is 520%. Okay, the cheat sheet does not have the damage. It has the ratios, but not the actual damage of the ability. So whatever the damage is of his ability, the base damage is what everybody does. It does not include extra damage from things like Jeweled Gauntlet or the Titan's Resolve, so they don't get the benefit of the items. By the way, Jax got like knocked out of his cast mid-jump. That's kind of annoying. Also got focused by Ahri a little bit earlier than I wanted. So they will sample at the base damage, not anything added by items, but still pretty good. Like I have 4 different units that are all using Jax's ult every 4 seconds. Lux got taken out mid-cast by that Ahri. I'm a little surprised because Ahri was not even focusing the Lux. By the way, she did 19,000 damage in that fight. Ugh. These 6 Sentinel Ahris, so annoying. They're just like, there's 3 of them in every single lobby. Just because it's like an incredibly easy team competition to play. But anyway, I was a little surprised because Ahri was tossing her auto attacks not at Lux, and then like Lux comes flying in to use Jax's sampled ult, and she just like beelines, tosses her little charm at Lux and takes her out. But again, my board can still get a lot stronger. I have so many pairs right now. I have 5 pairs on my bench. So I need to upgrade these to 2 stars before I can think about trying to go to level 9 or something. So I just need more gold here. And then, oh, what's this? I get a extra glove. That's not bad. All right, Poppy 2-star, not one of the units I was really going for. There's a Lux, there's a Gnar. I still have the Anvil to pull as well. If I can pull a vest, I could do a Titans, which wouldn't be bad. All right, 2-star Vi. I'm holding Vi in case I get like a Mosher emblem or something. All right, so I managed to hit some of my units. I didn't hit the units that I most cared about, though. So I ended up doing the Thief's Glove on Zed. He actually rolls really good items this round. Probably should have pulled this first. Okay, it turns out that there is not anything that would have given me... I couldn't have made the Super Titans anyway, but I probably should have pulled the Item Anvil first. So with the leftover items, I'm going to put them on Lux. I'm going to make the Static Shiv, which is actually pretty decent here because I don't have any healing, or not healing. I don't have any magic resistance shred in my board right now. Remember, Jax deals magic damage, so and his sampled ultimate also deals magic damage, so it's very important to try to get some MR shred, and the Static Shiv will do that. Also gives Lux some additional attack speed, which is not terrible. So yeah, unfortunately though, I didn't really 2-star the units I most cared about. I most wanted to 2-star the Zed, the Zac, and the Lux because they're all the EDM units. I need them just to survive longer in the fight so they can get off more of the sampled ultimates. Alright, so we'll go ahead and do this. And then I'm on 5 Masha right now. I see a Kiana in the store. I was like, alright, that's got to be better than something. I could take out maybe the Urgot because he's 1-star, and then I could just play this. I think that that's got to be better. That'll put Crowd Diver trait in play for the... And by the way, there is a Zac in the store. We can... lock for that. But this will put Crowd Driver trait in play for the Zed and Zac. Always get them confused. But it'll put Crowd Diver trait in play for the Zed. And Kiana's just a good item, a good unit in general. Another 5-cost unit. She's going to be a useful unit to have on the board. Unfortunately, she will not print me items because I do not have true damage trait in play. And there's no easy way to get it in play unless I would get like a spatula or something. Could try to make the emblem, but that seems unlikely. For the most part, though, we're still playing through Jax. And honestly, we're playing through Jax's sampled ultimate. Because like even if Jax dies or gets caught or stuck on something... the Zed, the Zac, the Lux will then hop into the back lines and continue sampling Jax's ultimate. So, like, that's a really big deal as well. All right, there is a 2-star Urgot. So, if I have 2-star Urgot, I can sell the Vi, and we'll play that over the Gnar. Now I will hold Gnar because if I would find a Mosher emblem on like a carousel somewhere, I could always look to go to 9 and put Gnar in, and then I have 6 Mosher. So that's the logic there. I guess I could also try to play like a Dazzler unit, could try to play like a TF or a Ziggs or something, but I think getting 6 Mosher would probably be the best thing to do if I were to go to level 9. Still, until I hit the Zac and Zed 2-star, I don't want to go to level 9. I really need to hit 2-stars on these units. They're very uncontested in this lobby, both of them. Nobody's playing either of these units, so I've been a little unlucky not to hit them, but I did hit the Jax 3-star pretty easily, so I definitely can't complain there. This is yet another person who's trying to play Sentinel frontline with like Ezreal, Caitlyn, Heartsteel behind it. So again, I just need Jax to get in the back line. There he goes. One nice thing about Jax, and yeah, we actually knocked them out of the lobby. Their board was reasonably strong, but just knocked them out like that. One other great thing about getting higher tiers of EDM trait is it's not just the other EDM units that sample Jax's ult. He samples his own ult every 4 seconds as well. So you'll sometimes see him jump in the backline's ult, land, and then immediately ult a second time, and that's his sampled ultimate. Again, it doesn't deal quite as much damage as his base ultimate, but it still does quite a bit, honestly. And he has a chance to heal off of both of them because he gets all that Omnivamp from the EDM, from the, what is it called? The Mosher trait. Mosher trait gives him Omnivamp. With Mosher 4, he gets what does he have? He has 40% attack speed, 15% Omnivamp. So every time he ults, if he double ults, he can heal off both of them, which is pretty nice. Anyway, what did I have here? I had a, nothing I really wanted that much on the carousel. So I think I would have most wanted another Lux item, but that's not an option. So I just take this and put it on Kiana because she's another useful unit. I think it's better to put this on Kiana than to put it on like Urgot. I mean, I guess Urgot has 4 Mosher, so a little bit better than you would be normally, but I think I'd still rather have it on Kiana. Maybe I can get a true damage emblem, and then she'd be able to start printing items, but there's actually a lot of people that are playing Kiana in this lobby. As far as positioning goes, I've been putting the Jax and the Zed behind the training dummies. The logic is the training dummies will fly forward and stun people at the beginning of the fight, and that way Jax will not take aggression early on from whatever's on the front line because they'll be hitting the training dummy. That's the logic anyway, and it seems to be working reasonably well. He like spends 1 second pathing backwards, but then he walks forward, and he's almost always untouched at the start of the fight. So this positioning's been working reasonably well. The biggest issue with Jax as your carry is it's very unpredictable where he's going to jump in the fights. There's a lot of RNG involved. By the way, there's a big hit getting the Zed 2-star. Very nice. But he is pretty unpredictable, as I said in the fight. Sometimes he will spend the whole fight just getting stuck on tanks. I had one game where like I had him perfectly positioned to go hit the enemy carry. Like most people are playing their carries on the back right, so I also have him on the right side for that same reason. But sometimes he just decides he's going to jump to other parts of the tank line, and he just spends the entire fight hitting someone who has like a Dragon's Claw Warmogs, and he just does nothing in the fight. So he is a bit unreliable as a carry, unfortunately. So yeah, it can be a little difficult sometimes positioning. So like in this fight, there is a 2-star Alawi with really good tank items. If he gets stuck on the Alawi the whole fight, that could be a problem. Yeah, but it looks like he got in the back line, so you never know quite what he's going to do. Oh, he got taken out before he got over to the Ezreal. That's unfortunate. Yeah, it looks like we just weren't able to get through that person's front line. And they actually have 6 Ezreals and a champion duplicator, so they're pretty close to Ez 3-star, and they're win streaking right now. So that was the win streaking player. Oh, I should have bought that Ezreal in my store. Or really should have bought the Ezreal in that store to try to deny them Ezreal 3-star, because as I said, they're on 6 Ez's and of a champion duplicator, so they're really on 7, and they only need 2 more. If they hit that unit, I'm definitely not going to win the lobby. Still, I'm in good shape. I should be able to get a top 4 finish here. There's yet another billion people playing Ahri, True Damage Ahri. I think like 2 of the remaining 5 players are both playing Ahri. And there was another player that had the 3-star Annie and was playing Ahri. It's just like, all right, yeah, enough. We've seen everybody play Ahri a million times by now. We've been on this patch for a while, and everybody's been playing Ahri. Oh, I didn't manage to sell that Lulu. I would have had 1 more gold. Oh, well. I flubbed the sell. So I still need to roll here. I really would need to hit another Zac. If I can hit another Zac, I can probably stop at that point. But I need that Zac. Come on, where is he? Come on. We got to find that Zac. Come on. And now at this point, I start buying up 4 costs. I was like, geez, nobody's playing the Zac. It can't be that hard to find this unit. And then it finally shows up. So at this point, I was like, I really want another Lux item. None of these are great Lux items. So you know what we'll do? We'll just itemize. We'll just look to itemize Poppy. Give her an item. I don't love this, but you know, it's the best I can do. I guess I could have put another item on Kiana, but I didn't think any of those items were too amazing on Kiana. Getting another item for Poppy with 4 Masha trade in doesn't feel too bad. All right, so this person has a 2-star Jhin in the backlines there, but it looks like Jax has managed to get into the backlines. Can he get on top of the which oh, but by the way, I guess Kiana is making me items, because I guess she can't make me permanent items, but she did create items in that fight. I saw a whole bunch of crown guards popping up. I think she made 3 crown guards over the course of that fight. So yeah, she's doing work too, even as just a 1-star. I'd love to 2-star her, but she's pretty heavily contested in this lobby. So we win that round, and now there's just 4 of us left in the lobby. All right, this person is 6 true damage Ahri. That's pretty scary. They also are playing Kiana. Kiana has very good items on their board, so and they also have a Sona with excellent Sona items, so this is a pretty good board. Big thing, though, is their front line's a little shaky. They just have a 2-star Echo with good tank items, so I'm hoping I can get through that tank line and get onto the squishy carries in the back lines. All right, let's see how this is going to be up to Jax and Zed as usual. So, all right, over onto the Kennen. Now I need Jax to get over to the Ahri. Ahri took out a training dummy in 1 hit there. I'm hoping she doesn't focus Jax, but unfortunately she did focus Jax, and looks like she's healing off of some of the damage. So now I need somebody to get over there and kill the Ahri. We took out the Sona. Kiana's still alive. You got this, Kiana? Can you print an item? She printed a death cap there. Oh, we got the stun. It's Lux and Ahri. Who's going to win? Oh, wow, is that close. Yeah, the sampled ultimate. Lux jumping into the back lines, getting the kill. Very entertaining. One thing I like about these EDM boards is they're just kind of wacky in terms of what's going on. You see people flying around. Everybody's sampling Jax's ult, just going around, flying like crazy. I've had games where I sampled Lux's ult, and there's like 4 lasers firing off at a time. It's pretty entertaining. Anyway, though, now it's down to me and this person, Friedrich. This is the person I lost to last time. Very strong board. 2-star Alawi, 2-star... was it 2-star... Yorick, sorry, I was trying to think of the unit's name. 2-star Alawi, 2-star Yorick, 2-star Thresh, 2-star Lucian, almost 3-star Ezreal. And by the way, I tried to swap at the last second so their Zephyr wouldn't hit my Zac, but apparently they saw me move with like a half second remaining and got the swap off in time. And then they typed, I know it, which is pretty surprising. All right, this is a close fight. If I win, I can knock them out of the lobby. Jax is down, but Zed is still alive. Zed getting off some good damage, and now it's down to just Zac. So he takes out the Jhin. It's just Zac bouncing around against Ezreal. It's like, can he win this fight? Ez is going to wind up for an ult, but oh, Zac in the bounce house is able to win this one off. When I was watching this, I did not expect to win that. I was pretty sure Ezreal had that, but nope. And that's the advantage of that sampled ult. Every 4 seconds, they're going to sample Jax's ultimate and get off that cast. And yeah, you could see the difference. It was enough to win this one. So yeah, Jacks for the win. Jacks part Deux. I think that's more of what a typical Jacks game would look like. And it can be quite strong. It does fall off a bit in the late game, but it didn't here. And I had a lot of fun playing this one. I hope it was fun to watch. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed this. Until next time, have a great week. Take care, folks.